flag. I think it's the most beautiful flag in the world, and I thank you for it. I just want to know, you know, how you came about with it.
Certainly. I'm not sure about your comment about it in the world, but we first came to Hodgeville to teach because we heard from England that the teachers are short here and they wanted more. And they were offering free passage to Swift Current if you wanted to come here and be teachers. And Joan and I thought that that was a brilliant idea to get some experience, because we're both teachers, and you can get to be better teachers if you've more experience in other parts of the world. So we came, and we found somewhere to live in Hodgeville, and then we started to teach, and Joan was in the what we call the junior school, and I was teaching in the high school, and that's how it started. Now, while we're in Hodgeville, I saw this competition that was being raised by the legislature to design a provincial flag, and I thought, well, that sounds interesting. I have been training a little bit in art. It's one of the subjects I used to teach. So I thought, well, you don't really need art, but I thought it was a good idea to have a go at designing it. And so I didn't do it with paint and pencil and crayons and that. I thought that would just look messy. So I got some thin card in various colours and started to design it. Now I had to think of what would be a good picture for the Saskatchewan people, a flag that would actually tell them a lot about the province and any other people who came to the province. So I took a look at the structure of the whole of Saskatchewan, and of course I saw that at the top half it was a lot of trees and grass, at the bottom half at that time it was growing a lot of wheat and various crops, and the overall colour for that was a kind of a creamy yellow when it was at its best. So I thought, well, that might work. Green at the top half and yellow at the bottom half, and that would look like Saskatchewan's structure. And then I thought, well, we can't just leave it as a green and yellow flag. We need a bit more to it. So I found that Saskatchewan, is it called a shield? I think, or yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, I saw the shield somewhere in the book, and so I decided that would look good in the top left-hand corner where the usual images are. But that would need also something else to make it balanced, to have something at the bottom right-hand corner. And I thought, well, there are lots of animals in this province, there are a lot of birds and flowers and creatures and trees, and so I thought, what would look best? So I had a look around, pictures of birds and Saskatchewan flowers and things like that, and I saw this beautiful red flower, and it didn't take me long to say, that's going to be the flower in the bottom right-hand corner, the prairie lily. So I thought, well, I think that looks reasonable. And then I put it aside, and then designed 12 more. A greedy, aren't I? Just, to see if I could make one that might have a better chance of winning. So I did 12 different ones, slight variations of that one, and sent them all in to the legislature. And then month went by, and another month went by, and another month. Right? Okay, I haven't won it, but never mind. I enjoyed doing it. And then shortly after, we were going back to England because John had given birth, and our daughter would be required, well, not herself, but her family would love to see her. And so we went back to England. And then, just before we left, I'd already booked the journey on the ship. Nowadays the fly, but in those days flight was too expensive. And not long after that, I got a letter saying I'd won the flag. So you can imagine how I felt. We booked our return journey. So, because it's quite an expensive thing, isn't it, a long journey like that. And I thought, oh, I can't cancel that. I'll have to just apologise to the legacy. So I did apologise immensely and explained why we were going back to England. And the response was, as you can imagine, very disappointed they were. And I felt extremely embarrassed and sorry that it happened. And in a way, it kind of spoilt the whole thing.